Senate Bill 1215. Imagine this. Imagine a coastal town trying to rebuild oyster reefs after storms and pollution. An oyster farmer says, I can grow strong oysters fast. Let me put them out on the reef to help it come back. Before this bill, the answer was basically no. Now it can be a yes, but only if the state agency approves it. What the bill says it does? It says it lets Texas Parks and Wildlife approve the placement of cultivated oysters into natural oyster beds, private oyster beds, or coastal waters, using best management practices to protect the ecosystem. What it actually does? This means oyster growers and restoration groups cannot be placed to farm oysters into waters that were previously off limits, as long as they get written permission from Texas Parks and Wildlife. This also means the real rules will be written later by the agency, not clearly spelled out in the law, while smaller operators and the public may have less visibility into who gets approved and why. Who benefits? Texas Oyster Mariculture Association, oyster farming companies and private oyster bed operators, the Nature Conservancy, Coastal Conservation Association, National Wildlife Federation, Sierra Club, the Wildlife Society, local governments named in the files, including Nueces County. Who pays the price? Smaller oyster operators who do not have the time, money, or connections to navigate an approval process. Coastal communities if standards are weak or enforcement is inconsistent. Wild oyster reefs and the broader bay ecosystem if disease, genetics, or placement practices are not tightly controlled. Why it matters. This bill shifts Texas from a simple rule that was easy to enforce to a permission system run by an agency. That can be smart if the rules are strong and public, but if standards are vague or hidden, everyday Texans are left trusting decisions they cannot easily see, measure, or challenge. When the rules live in agency paperwork instead of the law, power quietly moves away from the public and towards whoever knows how to work the process. Bottom line, Senate Bill 1215 turns a hard ban into an approval system, and whether Texans win or lose depends on how transparent and strict the agency chooses to be.